Let's see. We're at 15. We're on 501 Aldenwood Lane.
Welcome back, guys. They're just going over this morning's testimony.
He is 2 doors down at 1425 Aldenwood Lane. Her dog is there in the house, and she's concerned about her dog. She is severely beaten. And came to my house when she does not need an ambulance. I don't think. She has a head trauma. Very large knot. I'm very concerned. Are you there? I'm here. What's your name? I'm Lauren Googe. G-O-U-G-E is my last name. Okay, who hit her? Her boyfriend.
Okay, so that was a little bit we heard from the neighbor, the first witness called in this case, gave some testimony. Her name is Lauren Googe. And after the jury was sent out for lunch, we saw some arguments back and forth about whether body camera footage from when police responded to Lauren Googe's home and spoke with her and spoke with the alleged victim, Kristen Wilson. And there was an objection to the hearsay on that. And so to be clear, the court made a ruling on this one saying that the tape will be partially redacted. So the jury will get to hear the part where Kristen Wilson speaks to police. Great ruling by the court. And then the court will have excluded the neighbor talking in the beginning of the tape because there's no hearsay exception for her statements. So great ruling by the judge there. We will be seeing that officially introduced into evidence as this trial progresses. We got a preview of it when the jury was out of the room. Let me bring in, for some reaction to how this trial is going so far, our guests on the program today, trial attorney Jacob Will in Akron, Ohio, and trial attorney and former prosecutor Imran Ansari in New York City. Jacob, let me go to you. I know we need to let you go at the top of the hour. So what did you think about the opening statements each side presented? What did you like? What didn't you like, please?
Yes, Julie, thanks. From watching this defense opening statement, and as a defense lawyer, it was natural for me to gravitate towards that. I'm interested in how the evidence is going to play out, because from the defense perspective, there was no physical altercation whatsoever. There was much made during the opening statement by the defense about the number and quantity of drinks that had been consumed, or cocktails rather, as in the parlance of the Knoxville area, about how many they were drinking that night when they were at dinner. Then we also heard in the opening statement how she was so intoxicated that she ran out of the house and hit her head on the door.
Really? I thought she banged her head in the house.
The concern, of course, from the defense perspective is that if you can't show anything to connect your statements to the evidence that's actually presented, you run the risk of not being able to connect with the jury. You run the risk of the jury thinking that you're blowing smoke at them. And so from that perspective, I am concerned a little bit, especially after we saw portions of the video that you just referenced that will be played after lunch, where it does not appear as though she's intoxicated when she's interacting with the police officers that arrived on scene.
A really great point you just made, Jacob. Thank you for that. Imran, give us your assessment. The state's open, the defense open. What did you like? What didn't you like, please?
Yeah, well, I agree. Well, you never want to overpromise in an opening statement, because if you don't deliver during trial, usually the jury is going to look at that and wonder what the problem was. Is there a credibility issue with the evidence that you're presenting? Is there a problem with the argument that you presented? And you never want to overpromise. I think that the prosecution has a good case here.
They do.
Footage now that is going to come into evidence, and that will somehow refute that defense theory about intoxication of this victim. You have the injuries that were on the victim that are somewhat corroborate the assessment of the actions of the defendant here. And you have the defense opening statement, which somehow now may ring a little hollow if this evidence is assessed, the video is assessed by the jury, and that argument that she was belligerent and intoxicated doesn't really show on that video. So I think the prosecution has a strong case here, and I think the opening statement was indicative of that.
I like what you said there. Absolutely. Ring a little hollow for sure. Jacob, let me go back to you because we still have some time here. Let's pick apart, if we can, the cross-examination that defense counsel did of the first witness, because we know the prosecution kept it really short and tight. They drew out the facts they needed to draw out, that that Kristen Wilson had gone to Lauren Gooch's home barefoot, panicked, looked, in her words, severely beaten, and to have head trauma, said it was Geoffrey Paschel who did it, described what he's wearing, all of that. And then on cross, I was hoping, you're the defense attorney, not me, but I was hoping he would just stand up there and say, you didn't hear any commotion that night, did you? No. You didn't see anything, did you? No. So you didn't personally witness my client striking Ms. Wilson, did you? No. Okay, so you can't look at this jury and tell them what happened, can you? No. Thank you, ma'am. But instead, he didn't do that. He decided to get up there. And for me, she gave even more facts through him than she did with the prosecution. I was cringing. Tell me your reaction, please.
Julie, you're absolutely right. I had the same concerns. Typically, in a witness like this, there's not a lot of harm they can do to your client as the defense lawyer. You want to get in, get out, make your few points that you just raised. Those are the exact questions you'd want to ask, and then sit down. What happened here, though, is that he almost had the victim testify twice. He was asking questions designed to elicit her responses to the neighbor, to Ms. Gooch. And really, it's going to give an opportunity for the state to put on that evidence two separate times, once with the neighbor and then once again with the actual victim, Ms. Wilson. So it's a concern, and obviously they're going to have to maybe adjust to that strategy in the middle of this trial.
Yeah, well said. Jacob Will, always great to have you on the program. Thank you so much. I know we need to let you go. Imran, I'm sorry. Thank you. You're going to stay with me, and we want you to stay with us at home as well. We're going to squeeze in a break because the jury is not back in Tennessee. But as we go to break, I want to share some breaking news. This just in to our Court TV newsroom. This is coming out of California. Defendant Scott Peterson will be resentenced for the death of his wife.
I said that already.
Child. He was convicted back in 2014.
October 6th, today.
Murdering his wife, Lacey, and the child she was carrying at the time of her death. This was in 2002. He was sentenced to life in prison, but that sentence was overturned last year. Now he's going to be sentenced on December the 8th.
Oh, they changed
Stay right
it.
here
Okay, it was
with
supposed to
Court
be today,
TV
October
Live.
6th.
We'll be right back.
Okay, I'm not going to end this. I'm going to wait because the jury is coming. The jury is coming in. This is crazy. This is really crazy. Yes, that's me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute, guys. I just got pizza. Hi guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. Whew. So they were talking about earlier. They were also talking about the case that's coming up that they're going to be showing on Aubrey. So they're going to be doing that next Friday. His lawyer has not started. No, his lawyer has not started off well at all. And he's very cocky. He's very arrogant. And I'm just appalled. I see why why they have him. I am stuttering. Sorry.
You are watching Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice. I'm Julie Grant, and it's great to see you on this Wednesday afternoon. We've got a live trial for you happening in Tennessee, and we are waiting for the jury to come back from their lunch. In the meantime, I want to tell you about another case that we're covering for you, this one in Florida, the battery trial of alleged Parkland school shooter Nicholas Cruz. The jury selection is happening right now. And to be very clear, this is a case that is separate and apart from the Parkland school shooting.
Yep.
In this case, the defendant's accused of attempted aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer while in custody. So this was some video taken earlier today. The court recessed for the day. The way they're doing this voir dire, because he is a defendant whose name has been in the headlines for years, they're doing a big group voir dire, bringing in panel after panel, pre-qualifying those jurors in a group voir dire setting, and then they're going to be returning to do the individual voir dire. So this is taking a lot longer than it ordinarily would in a case of this nature with a defendant that is not known nationally. And this case is being tried purposefully by the state prosecutors before the Parkland shooting case, even though it happened later in time. And the reason for that is if the state gets a conviction on this case, and if they get a conviction on the shooting case, they can use the conviction in the battery case as an aggravating factor in the penalty phase of the shooting case. So that is why these are being done out of order, and we're going to continue following that.
I'm out 148
in Florida where this is happening. And the other case we're following for you live here on Court TV is happening in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're just joining our coverage, we welcome you this afternoon. The defendant formerly started a reality show on TLC called 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. And so far today, you've heard opening statements from the prosecution, from the defense, and then we saw the first witness called. And now we see the judge taking the bench. Let's go in together.
Here we go.
Enjoyable lunch. I'll give juror number 9 a second to get that thing reassembled. Take your time.
Go bring another pizza. Don't get any more.
There we go. Man, we do have a battery pack charging for that thing, so if it starts to go out, just get my attention and let me know, and we'll get it replaced for you. Okay? Joni, you ready to call your next witness? Go ahead,
Thank you,
man.
Mott 148. I'm packing too, Jay.
And you sure tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Please have a seat.
Go ahead and wear your mask. Can you state your name for the record and spell your last name?
And my name is Wilson, 35.
That's the
And when
picture.
did you get married?
In October of 2019.
Can't
And
hear
so
her.
in June of 2019, were you Kristen Wilson at that point?
Yes,
Okay. Ms. Wilson, do you know Geoffrey Paschel?
yes, I do.
And how do you know him?
He is my ex-fiance.
And do you see Mr. Paschel in the courtroom today?
Yes,
Could you point to him for us?
yes, he is right there.
And could you just tell us maybe what color shirt he's wearing?
Blue shirt and gray jacket.
And if we could have the record reflect she has identified the
How'd
defendant.
you read?
How long were the two of you dating?
A year and a half, and 3 months of that was the engagement.
Okay. So in June, specifically June the 9th of 2019, you all were engaged at that point.
Yes, we were.
Were you living together?
Yes, he had a lot of stuff at my house, but he still had his residence as well.
Okay. And I want to talk to you specifically about the events of June the 9th, 2019. Okay. Do you recall that day?
Yes.
Now, I want to back up before the early morning hours. What had the two of you all done the night before?
We had gone to dinner.
I'm gonna have you, maybe you'll just pull that up.
Sorry.
Soft spoken.
Seems like every time you go to dinner, he gets drunk and want to fight.
We had gone to dinner at the North Shore Brasserie. We were there for several hours. We had drinks and dinner. And when we left, we went back to my house. We had plans to go meet a friend at Roosters, which is right near my house in Rocky Hill. So we stopped to let my dog out, and I walked her by myself up the street to the cul-de-sac while he stayed at my house. And I returned home. I walked back up the street. I texted my friend Katie and told her.
Yes,
that we
that's
were
the
leaving
alleged
and we
victim.
were-
That's the
we would see her
ex-fiance.
shortly. She was also on her way.
The
there.
ex-fiance.
I remember sending the text message. I remember exactly where I was standing in the street in front of my neighbor's house. And I remember walking back up the driveway. But the next thing I remember, he was beating me.
And when you say he, are you talking about Mr. Paschel?
Yes, Geoffrey.
So just to back up a little bit.
Yes,
do
it's
you
live on
remember
Court
what
TV.
time it was you all got back to your house?
It would have been around 11 o'clock. Because I texted Katie at 11 o'clock saying we were on our way. So 10:45, 10:30, 10:45.
Okay. And you said you all had dinner and drinks. What were you
Yes.
drinking?
Champagne.
Do you recall how much you had to drink?
I recall that I had 3 glasses of champagne.
Who was driving that night?
I drove.
Okay. And
Ooh,
Mr.
now they're going
Paschel
to get
have
on
anything to
drinking and
drink?
driving.
Yes.
And what do you recall what he was drinking?
Double whiskey and Cokes.
And so
Yep.
when you get back in the
We've
house,
got
you
proof
said,
he gets into
tell
fights
us
when he's
exactly
drunk.
what you remember as soon as you get back into the house after walking the dog.
After coming up my driveway, the next thing I remember, I was on the floor in front of my staircase that leads to the upstairs. And he had me by the back of my head and was hitting my face into the floor. And I was screaming for him to
Yep,
stop.
that's it.
Is that all that happened, or
No. From there, he dragged me up the stairs. It's not quite a split level, but there's like 4 stairs that lead up to the bedroom. And it's hardwood floors. And he was dragging me by my head and by my hair.
Oh my
He
God.
had me kind of by the back of the neck. And we went up the stairs towards the bedrooms. And I blacked out again. I lost consciousness.
about how long did all of this take place, if you remember?
If my best estimate would be about 30 minutes.
Okay. And during that time, did you try and get away or anything?
When I was screaming, I was trying to get away from him, but I couldn't. He's too strong. He was holding me down on the ground, and then he was pushing me around, and I could not get away.
And so after the physical attack stopped, what happened?
So I remember going up the stairs, and then that's the last thing I remember. I don't know what happened up there, but there's blood splattered down my bedroom door. So something happened up there.
Damn.
The next thing I remember, I was in the corner of my kitchen. And he was shoving me up against the wall. And then he got me back down on the floor in the kitchen and was hitting my head on the floor in the kitchen. And I lost consciousness again.
So you were
The next thing I
upstairs, and then the
remember,
next thing you were in the kitchen?
When I regained consciousness, I was sitting on my couch in my living room. And I was
Yep, that's what
looking
she
at
just
a
said.
wall. They've got front windows, and then there's a wall next to it, and there was blood splattered down the wall. I don't even remember being against that wall or it's in a corner that I don't remember being in, but I was sitting on the couch, and my face was dripping blood down my
So
chin
you went
and onto my
upstairs
couch.
to the kitchen, and then the
and he
next thing
was
you were on the couch.
pacing,
When did you go
not
back
saying
to the
anything,
bed?
but just pacing behind the other end of my sectional, which had been
Yeah, they have those.
overturned, flipped upside down.
And at some point, did you go upstairs to the bedroom?
Yes. Eventually, he stopped pacing and he told me to go to bed, to get up and go wash my face and go to bed. So he followed me up the stairs into the bathroom, which is right next to my bedroom. And he wouldn't turn the lights on, so I couldn't see my face. It was
Oh
dark.
my God.
He made me wash my face. He grabbed a piece of toilet paper and handed it to me and told me to blow my nose to get the blood out. And then he flushed that down the toilet.
Oh my God.
And then said, go to bed. And I did, because I didn't want it to continue.
And when you say it,
The abuse. I mean, if I told him no or I tried to get away, he was 100% going to start hitting me again, forcing me.
did you have a cell phone or anything at this point?
I did own a cell phone. I didn't know where it was during this whole situation. When I laid down in bed, he had my phone, and he also had his MacBook.
Here's
He also had his
information from
computer. And he sat on the other edge of the bed on the opposite side. And I was pretending to sleep and trying not to lose consciousness. I was just really focused on staying conscious because I knew I had to get away at some point, or I didn't know what was going to happen. So I kept kind of opening my eyes a little bit to look and see what he was doing. And he had my phone. He was in my messages. I saw him in my social media accounts, especially my messages of my social media accounts.
Now y'all know he plays on
He had deleted a bunch of
on these
voicemails once I
shows
finally got
on
my phone
IT,
turned back on. It's
ID
essentially like he
Discovery, but he
erased every
doesn't
trace
do that
of him
anymore.
through my phone. Every message, he deleted our whole text conversation, so I didn't have any of that. And this went on for somewhere between an hour and 2 hours. And I was just trying to stay conscious. Eventually, he had the sound on the phone. So when he turned the power off, like when he locked the screen, I heard it, and I heard him set it down on the bedside table on that side of the bed. And he tried to console me, like came over and put his arm on me and was trying to apologize and touch me. And I told him not to touch me. And as soon as he laid down, stopped moving, and got situated on his side of the bed, I jumped and I ran. I ran straight out the front door and I went straight to Lauren's house.
And when you ran out the front door, did you grab anything or did you just take off?
No, I just took off.
Did you have your car keys?
No, he had my car keys.
I'm sorry, say that again.
He had my car keys. I found out later when I got home to get my stuff. He had my car keys.
Okay. And what did you do when you went to Ms. Googe's house?
Asked her to call 911.
And did you wait there until the police came?
Yes, I did.
And did the police come out and take pictures of your injuries?
Yes, they sent a forensics officer to take pictures of the injuries. They'd sent an ambulance as well, I believe, but Lauren ended up taking me to the hospital because it's the hospital she worked at. And the officer said it was okay that she did that. So they let me go with her.
That's what I'm thinking too, Articulate. I'm listening to her very carefully now. Hi, old school Patricia.
Matt?
Ms. Chapman, I'm going to show you some photos. Look at those for me. And tell me, do those photos fairly and accurately depict the injuries that you sustained that night and everything that you've been talking about?
Please show the photos. Please show them. Because I can't find them online anymore.
Yes, they do.
And so these appear to be photos that were taken in Ms. Gooch's kitchen.
Yes, this is Lauren's kitchen.
Prior to this time, but these 10 photographs, these next number of exhibits.
Please show them.
I've had pretty much just individually everyone to talk about, you know.
Okay, so that'll be 3 through 12. Any objection?
Yes,
So they
Rory,
received-
it's live.
You may.
Fair use. Fair use. Oh, they're getting ready to put them up. Can we zoom in on them?
Alright, so, the area of your head there, your forehead.
Yes, the
is-
photos do
is that-
support her
can you tell us how that
testimony.
injury was caused?
That was him hitting the front of my head into the floors in front of the stairs.
Is that another angle of that?
Yes, yes, it is.
And then here, tell us what's on your elbow and forearm there.
So my bet, I can only assume this is
Oh
from
my
being
God, thank you
dried.
for the
I
super
have the
sticker,
same marks
etc.
on- Or similar marks on my knees and.
Yes,
it
I'm gonna keep
felt
it up,
like
Shirari.
a burn. So,
No, is that the area of your knee? So-
yes.
Thank you.
And then, and then, just for purpose of the record, is this your back area?
It is my back,
So that's
yes.
when she's being dragged, maybe?
And is that your back?
Yes, it is.
Do you recall how those came to be?
Just being shoved into walls and furniture repeatedly.
Just the other side of your forehead there. The lights back on. Did you, so you did go to the hospital, correct?
Yes, I did.
And were you diagnosed with anything at the hospital?
Concussion.
A concussion. A concussion. Yes.
But he said she did it to herself because she was trying to take their son. Oh, don't lose sound. Don't do that. I think that's the woman, that's the mother of the child that passed away, or this is the other woman. I'm not sure. Kevin, I can't remember. I can't remember, to be honest. I can't.
Do you recognize?
Thank you, Ahmad 148. Thank you for the super sticker.
You maybe just look off the first picture.
He has a bad history
This
of drugs, abuse.
looks like my
robbery.
medical records from Park West from that night, but I've never seen this before.
Okay.
I think when they're talking to the opposing counsel, the sound goes out. And when the judge is talking to someone
But yeah.
he doesn't want to have on air.
Well, Your Honor, in this instance, since the witness did not identify those, we would object to their admissibility and ask that they just be marked for ID.
See, he's talking to the attorneys. So the sound is off. You can hear a little bit if you listen close enough. Look at Geoffrey. Look at it. Little short twerk.
Well, she didn't really say that. They were from medical records.
Yep, there's a reason. They're saying that she didn't identify.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And
Yep.
these jurors just saw such a story through those photographs of this alleged victim.
Now, if they're
with
talking
that
about the
knot
picture, she
on
did
her
identify
forehead,
them,
as the prosecutor described it.
but they're
the
speaking
size
about
of a
something
fist.
else.
Her bloody lower lip, the bruises on her forearm, her elbow,
Oh my God,
her
Teresa, thank you
leg,
for the super
and her
sticker.
back.
Guys, I appreciate it.
The
really
ones on
do.
her back, she said, caused by repeatedly being shoved into furniture. That big knot in the middle of her forehead, she said, being caused by her head being bashed against the floor.
Yeah, he
The
is
floor
cocky.
right
He
by
makes
her
me
front
sick.
set of
I never
stairs
liked him.
in her own home. The home that she said she had to escape that night, or she
Her
didn't
own
know
home.
what else was going to happen.
How you lay
She said
next
it
to
was
somebody
all
who
done
just
at the
whipped
hands
your
of
ass?
this man, who at the time was experiencing lots of fame on the show
Just women.
90
Just
Day
women.
Fiance.
This is not the first time.
And I would like to know when the
And I
show was
hope they
taped too.
bring
That's something
in,
we can look into
his
because we know
past
this incident
behavior.
is said to have happened in June of 2019, and we know that fans of the show were so outraged at these allegations that surfaced while the show was airing that they petitioned to have him off that final episode where all of the
They didn't want to
stars
see
tell
him
all.
on the reunion.
They didn't want him there just based on those allegations because they are so horrific. Let's go back in live.
Did you also, the following day, did you go to the Family Justice Center here in Knoxville?
I did, yes.
And did they take some additional photos of your injuries?
They did, yes.
Well, the judge is going to let her identify those too.
May I approach, Judge?
More photos. Here they go. The judge is allowing it.
You appear to be accurate copies of some of the photographs.
Yep, they cut his scenes out of pillow talk. Mhm. You're right, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and I want to see these new photos that they took at the center. I've never seen those.
Yes.
All right, it's not good. See the next number of exhibits, there are 20 photographs.
Yep, the judge is allowing them.
14 to 32.
Should be 14 through 30.
Commissioner, published, Judge.
Oh, here we go. He's going to publish them. His lawyer is an idiot.
And what are we looking at in this photograph here?
That is the back of my neck.
Okay, and do you recall how those injuries were sustained?
Get a closer picture.
I was pushed into a wall pretty hard, so I would assume that's where that came from.
Tennessee.
I'm just gonna go through some of these. Did your face, the injuries to your face, did they kind of evolve over the days following?
Yes, they did. That's why they had forensics come back out and take pictures, because the bruising.
Thank you for the
kinda
super sticker,
changed.
Dorothy. Oh, why you got make? Oh, yeah, Geoffrey, she did this to herself because she wanted to keep your son. Yep, she did it to herself. You're right.
This is bruising on your hands.
Yeah, from catching myself. I was attempting to catch myself. Both of my palms right there were bruised.
Damn.
Did you take some photographs on your own phone in the days following, even after these were taken.
Yes, I did.
You also take some photographs of some of the things that you saw in your house.
Yes, I did.
At this point, we would object based on its cumulative and would not be relevant under 401. We've seen pictures from the night of.
You're so right, Geoffrey.
So
You are
unless
so
there are
right.
different injuries, we would object.
Okay, I guess, let me take a look at it if you guys would approach. And while they're approaching, I might have missed this, man, but when were the pictures taken at the Family Justice Center?
Everything happened on the 9th, which was a Sunday. I went the 10th, which was a Monday,
Okay,
June 10th.
thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, Hot and Spicy. His lawyer is an ignorant, he's ignorant, he's arrogant. Yeah, that's why he's Geoffrey's lawyer. This happened in 2019, so 2 years old. And he's been trying to postpone it. And last year they said there was enough evidence to go to trial. It was June. It happened June 19th, 2019. June 9th, 2019. It was due to that and the fact that the other lawyer he had, they kept trying to fight it.
What I find to be the most terrifying thing about domestic violence is not only are they crimes of violence, but they are crimes of secrecy. And
His lawyer is
that batterers often
prick,
show the
and
world
he's trying to
isn't the face that they
antagonize
show
the
person
witnesses.
they're abusing. Now, Geoffrey Paschel is the accused in this case. He sits there cloaked in the presumption of innocence. And it will
Cloaked is
stay
the
that way
word.
unless and until the state of Tennessee proves him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
He's guilty. I'm on a
And
jury.
if these
That's all,
allegations
folks.
made by Kristen Chapman, his fiance at the time of this alleged incident, are true, if they are true,
Her last
I
name used
want
to be
you to just
Wilson.
think for a moment how tough that is to go into a public courtroom and tell the world about someone grabbing your neck, bashing your head against the floor, beating you so badly you black out,
Dragging you
all
up
in
the
your own
stairs, then
house.
back into the kitchen.
and you can't call for help.
Then you're on the
because
sofa.
This person has taken your cell phone, unbeknownst to you, also taken your car keys, deleted himself
Yep.
from your social media so there wouldn't be a connection from things in your phone.
Yep, that's what.
Secrecy, and it's sinister. These allegations are so sinister that this woman is making
Oh my
against
God, I
the
can't
man
stand
that
to
she
do
loved,
this.
that dated her
Did
for
they remove him from that farm yet?
multiple years. They were
Because he should
planning
not allowed to be
married,
around kids.
all of this happening back in June of 2019. And although she's quite composed today, I just want to make the point how difficult it is for survivors of domestic violence to speak about what's happened to them. Now, Geoffrey Paschel maintains his innocence here, saying that he didn't cause all these injuries the jury just saw displayed on those photographs, saying
Nope,
his
they
attorney
never
in opening
canceled the
statements
show.
that she injured
They
herself
removed him from the
as she
show.
was
They
leaving
never
the house,
canceled the show.
and the jury will be the judge. Let's talk a little bit about what the jury might be thinking after seeing these awful photographs. Let me bring in trial attorney Imran Ansari, standing by in New York. He also
They have been
served
out
as
drinking. Who
prosecutor.
knows?
Imran,
Who knows what
tell me your
happened?
thoughts
But
after
this
seeing
is
these
not the
photos,
first
please.
time he's done this at all.
Sure. Well, Julie, this is the moment where the jury really gets to see the viciousness of the allegations that this defendant is facing. And you saw the photographs, and it appears that this was a brutal.
Yeah, he was
beating.
smug.
And,
You haven't seen him on
the victim
Instagram.
has
Then he's
that
torturing
confidence,
somebody else.
taking the stand,
pressing
and you
fake
mentioned
charges
it's a very
against her.
hard thing to do. A victim of domestic violence like this, to take the stand, face her abuser, and testify in open court. And we see that she's doing that with confidence and composure, while the jury is also seeing the photographs of her injuries, and it seems to be brutal. And now the defense is putting forward this argument that she was belligerent and some of these injuries were self-inflicted.
So
I'm
she
going
was
to go as far as to
belligerent.
say that they
That means
don't
she beat herself
really
up because she had been
comport with
drinking. Right.
self-inflicted
Let me go
injuries.
drink and
They
beat my
seem to
damn
be
self up.
consistent with that of trauma inflicted by another. And I think that the jury seeing these photographs with the prosecution's argument, with the testimony coming out here,
Yep, they're re-victimizing her all over again.
Compelling case for the prosecution. Of course, we have yet to see the cross-examination of this witness, but I think right now, in terms of the prosecution's case, in terms of the photographs that they see,
He's got
it's
little
really
man
corroborating the story of a brutal assault here.
Oh, I'm with you. So well said, Imran. Thank you for that. And drawing on experience as a former prosecutor, and I'm sure you know
Yes,
this
he's got
too,
drug
Imran, and I
charges
can't
too,
stress
etc.
enough
He
when we
served
talk
time in
about
prison for
DV.
that.
DV is not about anger management. It is not about somebody who can't control
Yep, the
themselves
entire
and
family
outbursts
showed back up.
and engages in beatings because they're just so enraged and they can't help themselves. No, it's about
Yep,
power.
they're
and
trying to
control,
re-victimize her, and then she has to
methodically
testify
controlling
about
their
this. And look
victim
at these
through
pictures
using
all over
violence.
again.
And when she
And
told that
recall
story,
what happened
all I
that
kept
night.
thinking of is the word control.
He
When
should have
she
just
said
took a
he
damn
grabbed
plea
her by
deal
her neck.
and not put her
Control.
through this.
When she said that after he bashed her head on
Oh,
the
thank
floor and she
you.
blacked out. Control. He dragged her up the stairs. Control. She said then he made her wash her face.
Told
Forced
him.
her to wash her face. Control. Forced her to blow her nose. Control. Forced her to go lay down in the bed.
No,
Control.
she's not, guys.
She
I
was saying
interviewed
that, I was
Mary
getting
on my
chills,
other channel.
up and down
Mary
my
and I
arms,
still talk.
just thinking about
Mary
what
wants
she said
nothing
she
to do with
endured.
Jeffrey after what happened in
Imran, tell me,
December
I
when
mean,
they all went out.
you know
on a
about
double
DV.
date.
Having been a prosecutor, you understand the
He's a
dynamic.
psycho.
Were you thinking the same thing here?
No, absolutely. Her, recounting that harrowing experience, you really get the sense.
No, this
of her
happened
being
before the
trapped,
show was
as you
filmed.
said, being controlled.
Before
And the way she states that she
before he
went
got
along
with
with it.
Varia.
She blows her nose, she cleans herself up, and that idea of the abuser directing the
Yep.
victim to clean themselves up and just go to sleep, it really sort of resonates, and I'm sure it resonated with this jury. And the way she said that she
Let me
went
go
to sleep
check. I can't
because
remember, to
she
be
just
honest.
wanted to avoid further assault, further abuse is really compelling, and I think that her account of it will resonate with this jury as this trial continues.
Oh, I agree, Imran. It looks like they're done with the sidebar. Let's listen in together live.
Did you also take photographs?
He's facing
of
11 months
the way
in
that your
jail.
house was after the attack?
Wait a minute. No,
Yes.
sorry. Hold on.
Did you observe anything? I think you mentioned earlier that there was some blood spatter. Did you take photographs of those as well?
Yes, I did.
And would you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I would.
May I approach Judge?
So he was indicted on
Yes,
aggravated
the-
kidnapping, domestic assault, interference with emergency call, and vandalism after a girlfriend alleged that he had violently grabbed her by the neck, slammed her head into the wall, according to the court documents obtained by Oxygen.com. There was
Yes.
5,000
Yes, there are.
signatures to
And
get
did
him
you
off
take
of
those with your
TLC.
personal cell phone?
I did, yes.
Or this time we would ask.
He's also barred from entering Canada.
45 through 52, we enter the next exhibits.
Same objection.
It'll be received.
And now publish all of those that we just went through, Judge.
You have.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, open the door. Okay.
What are we looking at in this photo?
They
There
have to
was
bring me another
blood
pizza. Gonna send me a
dropped
cold ass
on
pizza.
each of my stairs, and that's what that is.
And how many stairs, again,
This
did you
is
say
hot.
there were from the living
Feel
room
the
to
heat.
the?
There are 4 leading upstairs, but these are actually my stairs leading downstairs.
And what is this?
That is a wall in my living room.
And what is the substance that we're looking at there on the wall?
That is my blood.
Put this over there too.
And this one?
Is a Yeti cooler, again with blood on it. That is the wall in the kitchen with the blood splatter on it.
It's kind
That
of
is-
things with it.
My kitchen floor, yeah, with the droplets.
Oh my God.
That is a light switch in my living room.
this the substance that we're looking at?
Is blood. Yes.
I can't find the max time, and I'm looking for it.
Photos of your injuries in the days after?
Yes, it is. That's actually right. When I got home from the hospital.
Hopefully they'll tell us.
That is also right when I got home from the hospital in the morning of June 9th.
Breezy girl, thank you. I didn't see that.
Yes, Judge, I will. All right. So
Varia and Geoffrey were together. She was living with him last year, going back and forth to Florida. She was living
That's
with
correct.
Geoffrey, and he was still cheating on her with other women.
We're looking at.
It's
I don't
also-
think she cares. I think they're both using each other.
36. That was also.
Yes.
What is this? Is that your leg?
It is my leg. That was taken at my parents' house. I can't recall the date off the top of my head.
Was it in the few days after?
Yes.
Nope,
I
she
stayed
wasn't
with
out of
my
the picture. They were
parents.
still
I did
together
not
as of a
in
few
my
months
home,
back.
So I went and stayed with them
They were
for
in Florida together
several weeks.
at his
if
mother's
not
house.
months.
I know for a fact.
Mouth again. Your foot. And then right up there at the top of your foot, kind of at the bend of your foot, is that where your skin is peeling there?
Yes.
Okay, he and Mary went out last December. They were on double dates. Geoffrey's girl, the girl he was with was a much younger girl, kept trying to grab Mary's phone to see what Mary was typing, and she kept telling her to stop. Got into a loud argument in a restaurant. Geoffrey and the girl were drunk and belligerent. They got kicked out. Mary they continued the argument on the street, and the police were called. And him and Mary got into it once before too. She talked about all of this on my channel. He's an abuser.
The days following, just again, another part of your face there.
Yes.
Is the Knoxville, Tennessee? Oh my God! Yeah, she did that to herself, Geoffrey. Yeah, to herself.
Ms. Chapman, where is your home located? What was the address?
1425 Aldenwood Lane.
And everything that you have described to us today, did that all occur in Knox County?
Yes.
The two boys are teenagers,
Thank you, Judge. Cross-examination.
late teens too, like 18, 19.
Good afternoon, Ms. Chapman.
Good afternoon.
My name is Gregory Isaacs, and I represent Mr. Paschel.
Mr. Paschel.
Starting in 2017, you and Mr. Paschel became an item. You began going out. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you became a couple. And shortly thereafter, you both decided to be monogamous, correct? As it related to that relationship.
No, I don't recall that.
You don't?
Well, I recall us being monogamous, and then in April, I found out that he did not feel the same way.
Yep.
So we did break up for a little bit in April. That would have been of 2018.
And that created some tension, correct?
Yes, we broke up because of
Throughout the
that.
course of
If
the
she wasn't in
relationship.
Florida,
But
she
during
was
the
there
course of
at
the
Geoffrey's house,
relationship,
and
it
John's not
progressed,
going
and
to
you would
say.
do things that normal couples would do, correct?
Yes.
Go out to dinner, correct?
Yes.
Take trips, for example, to Florida, correct?
Yes.
See, his mother lives in
Geoffrey
Florida.
was involved in your life, correct?
Yes.
Oh my God, they
You
got the
go
high
to
school shooter.
activities
Thank
that
you,
support
Susan.
in your capacity as a teacher at the fourth grade teacher at the Sequoia Middle School, correct? Elementary school.
Yes.
And by and large, the relationship progressed and became closer, correct?
Correct.
And prior to June of 2019, those months leading up to there, Geoffrey asked you to marry, correct?
Correct.
And you said yes.
I did.
And so at that point, you were his fiance,
Yes.
and the relationship at that point continued to progress.
Yes.
And let's fast forward to June of
Yes, he has a
2019.
prior conviction and served time
At
in
this
prison.
point, your relationship with Geoffrey is good, correct?
Yes.
You knew if you were married, you were going to have a blended family.
Yeah, 4 people were
Geoffrey had
wounded,
a number of
Susan.
children,
Old
correct?
school Patricia.
I knew of about a few of the children, not all of them.
So he supported you in your position as a teacher in elementary school, correct?
Yes.
So
He's doing it
basically,
now.
Other than issues of infidelity, in June of 2019, nothing could be better as it relates to
Yes, Kevin, they found the
Kristen and
shooter.
Geoffrey, correct?
Other than infidelity and lying about children and ex-wives that I didn't know about, then yes.
Made you mad, didn't it?
We broke up over it, but this was all again prior to the engagement.
Thank you.
This all happened in
Prior.
January.
So
Thank you,
let's
Rory, for the super chat.
fast forward or rewind, depending on where we are, and go to June 9th, 2019. Normal.
Yep, he
started
was
out as a
talking to
normal
somebody else.
Saturday night to go out to dinner, correct?
Yes.
About your restaurant on a Saturday night, correct?
I forgot how many kids
I
he
would say
has, but
that's
she knew
normal for
about some of
couples
them,
to
not
do,
all
yes.
of them.
And Geoffrey came to your house, which is also in North Shore, at approximately 6 p.m., correct?
No, he had been at my house all day that Saturday.
All right, because you guys were basically living together at that point in time, correct?
Yes, he was staying at my house then.
And let me kind of rephrase that question. So when you all left for dinner to go to the brasserie, which is just a few minutes away from where you live, it was
I
about
checked
6
Florida
o'clock,
and Tennessee,
correct?
and I can't find any marriage records for
I'm
him. I did
assuming
that like about a month
sometime
ago.
around then. We were there for several hours,
Yeah. So if I
assuming sometime around then. We were there for
He's trying to
several
make it
hours.
sound like she's a drunk.
Yeah. So if I showed you your prior testimony and you said it was about 6 o'clock, would that refresh your recollection?
I believe it was about 6 o'clock.
How far is the brasserie from your house? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
5 or 10 minutes, yes.
Yeah. So if you left at 6, y'all got there, you missed the Saturday night rush, so you would have gotten to the brasserie restaurant about 6:15,
Old school
6:30.
Patricia, I uploaded the
Yeah.
video earlier this morning.
Now, also at the brasserie that night was a close friend of yours that was the server, correct?
Yes.
And you mentioned her name when.
Oh,
Ms.
Julie,
Good
you sent me a super
doing your
sticker
direct
too? I'm
examination.
sorry, I didn't
Tell the
see
jury
it.
who that friend was.
Katie Meyer.
And etc. sent me a
And
super
Katie
sticker.
Meyer
Thank you.
was a server, correct?
Yes.
And your relationship to Katie Meyer was what?
At that time, she was my brother's girlfriend.
Your brother's girlfriend. And we have spoken about this before, but Miss Myers didn't give you drinks that were fairly strong, correct?
No.
That's not correct.
Katie did not give us free drinks.
Did she make drinks that were stronger than what would have been normally poured?
How would
as
you know?
required by the Metropolitan Drug Commission and the protocols
Oh my
at the
God.
brasserie?
I would say no. I was drinking champagne and it was served in a champagne
Thank
glass.
you.
So
All
can't
right.
really make that.
Geoffrey was the one that was drinking liquor. Okay, court TV is spinning. Why?
You were drinking champagne.
Correct.
Mr. Paschel was also drinking.
Why are they spinning?
Yes.
You get there at 6:15. Began dinner. And
It's not me
cocktails.
spinning, guys. It's them. I think maybe the system is overloading with everybody watching this.
Home at 11 o'clock, correct?
Yes.
Ordering drinks from your friend, splitting a burger. You were there.
Yeah, I did check Florida. Okay, court TV is spinning.
I've always had
Now
slightly
they're playing a
above
commercial.
average
Hold
blood
on,
pressure.
guys.
My last reading was
They're having
the best
connection
I've
issues.
seen in years.
Neo40 is a
Bavaria
clinically
goes
researched
back and forth
formulation to
between
support
Florida
cardiovascular and heart
and,
health. After one.
Ordering
in
drinks from
Tennessee.
your friend, splitting a burger. You were there.
I do have a picture.
See how they're spinning? Damn it. It's not me, it's court TV. I think they're overloading the system. Oh, damn it. Guys, it's court TV that's spinning. It's not me. My signal is strong, and I'm looking, it's them. I open another tab, and I open it up on my phone. It's court TV that's spinning. So
That I can remember from 2 years ago.
okay, let me. Yeah, it's spinning on my phone too. So it is court TV that's spinning, and now I'm a little ticked off. And I'm looking at another
Hours, if I
stream
don't
on
remember.
IG,
Right,
and it's
you don't-
spinning there as
You
well.
can't. I mean, I can show you prior testimony. You don't.
Judge, come here, Judge.
See, it's spinning too. I'm looking at somebody is streaming it on IG, and it's spinning on their stream as well. It's on court TV. Oh, man. And she's an excellent witness. So let's see what happens.
What do you think, please?
Yeah, on cross-examination, especially in a case like this, you want to be somewhat
Oh, man.
you know,
When you spoke with Ms. Gooch later that evening, correct?
I was honest when I spoke with Ms. Good.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you heard her testify this morning, correct?
I did.
Yep, they're buffering. Okay, let me drop it.
I was honest when I spoke with Ms. Good.
Yes.
Yeah,
And you heard her testify this morning, correct?
I did.
And out.
Okay. If I drop it
She
and
went
come
from
back
champagne
into
to
it, maybe
wine
it'll get better.
inadvertently,
I guess so.
or during the 5 hours.
Let me see if I open it on another tab,
Now,
if
you
it'll
also
be
told
better.
Ms. Gooch that
All of that fat pocket that was here, that huge pocket.
Nope, it's still buffering there too. Oh, shit. Hold on, let me see.
You also told Ms. Gooch that you indicated that you said that
Yep, it's them. They're buffering. So oh God.
indicated that you said that.
No, the assault.
I hate this.
Um,
Okay, refresh it.
and your memory, you would agree, is you don't really recall how long you were at the brasserie. You don't recall how long this took place.
At Sonobello Houston, we remove your stubborn body fat permanently in just one visit.
And your memory, you would agree, is you don't really recall how long you were at the brasserie. You don't recall how long this took place. Do you recall ever following or in wine? And you said you didn't recall. But
I do not recall drinking anything other than champagne that evening.
But it's possible.
No, I only recall drinking champagne that evening.
Your house, correct?
Also came out and took pictures.
But,
That is not the entirety of it.
well, did you take pictures? Why did you do it today?